My grandfather kept one chair in the hall facing the front door, and none of us were allowed to move it. I moved it at 15. He sat in it every night after the rest of us went to bed. Same worn armchair, angled so it stared straight down the hallway at the front door. During the day it stayed empty, but the rule never bent. Nobody moves the chair. I asked my mom once why. Because he asked us not to. That's enough. It wasn't enough for me. I was 15 and I thought the whole thing was a sad old man's habit. The chair blocked the good outlet, so one afternoon I dragged it 6 feet into the living room and plugged in my speaker. Grandpa came down the stairs at 9 p.m. for his shift and stopped dead in the hall. "Where is it?" "I just borrowed the outlet. It's right there." He didn't yell. That was the scary part. He walked over, gripped the armrest, and dragged the chair back into position himself, hands shaking. Then he lowered his voice. "You put it back the second you use it. Every time. Do you understand me? It's a chair, Grandpa." He looked at me for a long time. "Come sit with me tonight then. If it's just a chair." I said fine, mostly to prove him ridiculous. I made it to 11 before I got bored and went to bed. He stayed. He always stayed. 2 weeks later he had a stroke. They kept him at the hospital, and the chair sat empty for 9 nights. Nobody took his shift. I didn't even think about it. On the 9th night I woke up at 3 a.m. to a sound at the front door. A soft scrape, then the click of a key. We didn't give out keys. I crept to the top of the stairs. A man was standing in our hallway. He had a flashlight in his teeth, and he was moving toward the kitchen like he'd walked it 100 times. He knew where the creaky board was. He stepped over it. I called the police from my room, whispering, and then I did something stupid. I went down. "Who are you?" He spun. Middle-aged, thin, wearing my grandfather's old coat that hung by the door. For a second I thought I was seeing a ghost. "Go back to bed, kid," he said, calm, familiar. "This doesn't concern you. That's my grandpa's coat. It's my coat. Everything in this house was going to be mine." He took a step toward me. "Where is he?" "He's not in his chair." That's when I understood what the chair was. "You're the one he was watching for," I said. His face changed. "He told you about me." "He didn't tell anyone anything." "No," the man said. "He wouldn't. Too proud to admit his own brother was the one who'd come back for what he stole from me." Sirens, far off, getting closer. He heard them the same second I did. He lunged for the kitchen door, the back way out, and I finally got it. The chair didn't face the front because he was scared of the front. It faced the front because the front was the only door this man didn't have a key to. Grandpa had changed every lock but that one, on purpose, so he'd always know which way his brother would come. So he could sit in the dark and wait and catch him in the light of the porch, the one place a flashlight would give him away. The man got the kitchen door open, cold air rushed in. He had 1 foot out when the beam of a cruiser swept across the yard and pinned him in the doorway. On the ground, hands where I can see them. He froze in the light, exactly where the chair had been pointing for 11 years. Exactly where Grandpa said he'd be. They cuffed him on our kitchen floor. One of the officers came inside, saw the armchair in the hall, the coat, the pried open door, and looked at me. "How'd you know he was coming tonight?" "I didn't," I said. "My grandfather did. He'd been sitting up every night waiting for him." The officer glanced at the empty chair. "Where's your grandfather now?" "Hospital." My throat closed. He couldn't take his shift. The man on the floor started laughing, low and ugly. "9 nights," he said. "I waited for the chair to go empty. 9 nights, and the one time the old man's not in it." He tilted his head toward me. The kid moves it back. I looked down the hall. In the mess of the struggle, someone had knocked the chair. It sat crooked, half turned away from the door. I'd put it back that afternoon, out of habit, the second I finished using the outlet. Every time, exactly like he told me.